All right, I have shared a couple of my favorite German-inspired recipes on this channel, and one of the first videos that I ever put out on YouTube, don't look for it, it's so cringy, is a German schnitzel. And I thought, since it was like almost 10 years ago that that recipe's come out, that I would do it again. Hey guys, I'm Candace the Edgy Veg. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. I came up with a schnitzel recipe in like 2012, I think. And what inspired it was I was going home for Christmas as a vegan for the first time. Now I grew up mostly vegetarian, so my mom always had a turkey for the meat eaters in the family, and then she would make some sort of like, she called them gluten patties because it was before like veganism was super cool and stuff. And she would make us these like schnitzel out of gluten patties, and I thought it was like the weirdest name for them, but it was pretty much this recipe, just I made it. Let's put it this way. My mom is no salt, no fat, no sugar. This has all of those except for sugar in it. It's one of my go-tos. I've been having it every Christmas or Thanksgiving for the last, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years. So I hope that you like it. So for the actual meat part of the schnitzel, I'm just gonna make seitan. I've showed you guys how to make seitan multiple different ways on this channel. This is yet another version of chicken seitan, or I guess it can also kind of be used as pork. So depending on whether you're used to a pork schnitzel or a chicken schnitzel. I'm gonna use some vital wheat gluten, some no chicken broth, tahini, nutritional yeast, and spices. And because of all the kneading that we do in this recipe, if you have a stand mixer, go get it now because you're gonna need it. All right, so if you have a stand mixer, use that. If you don't, get a bowl, a nice big mixing bowl. We're gonna whisk together our no chicken broth and our tahini. So there's the no chicken broth. And this recipe will serve about 4 people. If you have more people, why did I put that in there? That's fine. That can go in there. And our tahini. If you're having more people over, just like double the recipe. It requires the same amount of time as making like a small batch anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna whisk that together. And then here I have my vital wheat gluten or gluten flour, and I'm going to add in some onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and a poultry seasoning, and just gently with a fork. If you have a larger bowl, just use a whisk or a fork and mix it together. Why dirty another dish? So I'm gonna do it right here. All right, I've switched out my whisk attachment for my paddle, and I mean, it's pretty simple. Just throw in your wet ingredients that you just mixed together in with the dry, and stir it until it becomes a dough. Start at a lower speed so that you don't end up with a powdery mess, and go in as you need to scrape down the sides. Okay, so what we are going to do is knead this guy for like 15 to 20 minutes. The longer you knead it, the more time the fibers have to be developed. So if you want that like really fibrous, like pull apart chicken texture, definitely knead it for that long. If you're kneading it by hand, sorry, put your elbows into it. You have to knead it for 15 minutes. I like to put it on speed 2 on the stand mixer, and it's just gonna do its thing. All right. After 15 minutes, you should end up with something that looks like this. So it kind of just looks like dough, like any other dough. It's not too sticky, like nothing's sticking to my hand when I touch it. What we're going to do is divide it into 8 pieces. Now you can also do 4. If you want to do like the traditional giant plate size schnitzel, just do 4 pieces and roll them out. But I find that it's kind of nice to not have the biggest piece of faux meat on the planet. So I'm gonna do 8. So I'm just cutting this into 8 pieces. And then we are just going to roll them out. You kind of gotta force it when you roll these. Stretch it out and really work with it. It will also double in size, so don't worry if you think it's too small, it's not. All right, once you have this like schnitzel-y looking thing, you can put it in some broth. This is just like a no chicken vegetable broth, and you just want to throw each one in there. All right, so I have thrown all of these guys into the broth, and we are going to bake them at 350 for about an hour. Go in at 45 minutes and just give them a flip, turn around. Some of the water is going to evaporate, or some of the broth is going to evaporate, so you'll probably have to go in and move them around. But yeah, you can also do this on the stove if you want, in a pot. but make sure that the broth is simmering and never boiling. All right, so these guys have cooked for about, it ended up being like an hour and 15-ish minutes, and they're ready to go. I let them sit for 15 minutes in the actual liquid itself and then removed it from the liquid, and now they're ready to go. So I'm just going to do like a normal breading situation. So we have here just some breadcrumbs. This is just egg replacer, except instead of mixing it with water, we mixed it with whatever your favorite plant milk is. We use soy milk. And then of course we have some flour. So mix some pepper into the flour and then add it to this plate here. There you go. If you're making bigger cutlets, you will want like larger bowls and plates. So we'll go in, oh, the oil is heating up in a pan. There's about an inch of oil in there. You want the schnitzel to be able to go swimming. I have my breading station set up here. We're going into the flour first, and then shake off any excess. Go into the egg replacer mixture. If you don't have egg replacer, you can also just use like soy milk or almond milk. A little bit of cornstarch. Again, let any excess drip off, and then go into the breading. All right, and then throw it into your hot oil. So you're going to want to cook this for 4 to 5 minutes total. You don't really have to worry about cooking the meat inside because it's vegetarian. A couple minutes on each side. All right, so you can go ahead and serve this with a little wedge of lemon or some gravy. I have a couple different types of gravy on the blog, so I'll leave a little link to those down below, and even a side of German spätzle, which are German egg noodles, except I have a vegan version, which will also be down below. Oh my God, this is so good. All I need is a big, tall glass of beer. Make this, you won't regret it. It's delicious. If you have your own type of breading that you like, use that recipe. You don't have to use the one that I gave you. You can just make the schnitzel part if you want without the breading. All of these dishes are kind of just like guidelines and just ideas, and you can go ahead and make them your own. If you like these recipes and you have some requests, leave them in the comment section down below. The full recipe will be in the description box. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And if you like this, give it a big thumbs up. Bye.